Welcome to my podcast, Tricks of the Trademark. This is Erik Pelton with another podcast episode in which I share advice and experience based on my 20 years of working with clients around the world to protect and strengthen their brands. It's time for one of my favorite annual traditions creating content, and that is my year in review wrap-up for the world of trademarks, otherwise known as Trademark Trends of 2023. 2023 was a busy year in the world of trademarks. In fact, might even be considered the busiest year in the world of trademark developments in a long time. And I think you'll understand why as I go through these. The Supreme Court both heard recently a trademark case and decided in the spring a trademark case. The case it decided was Jack Daniels brought a case against a dog toy that was a parody of a Jack Daniels bottle. And Jack Daniels won at the Supreme Court with a finding that the dog toy bottle infringed their trademark. The Supreme Court did not use the First Amendment to analyze the parody, which is what the defendant had hoped for, and that's how the case turned and was ultimately decided. In the case that the Supreme Court heard a few weeks ago and has not yet ruled on, also relates to First Amendment issues and whether the bar on trademark registration that features the name of an individual is valid. And the case before the Supreme Court involves a trademark application for the phrase Trump too small. I have no idea how this will turn out, so you'll have to stay tuned in 2024 as the Supreme Court issues their rulings to see what happens on that. Another big story from this year was the USPTO's rollout of a new search system. This actually just happened on the last day of November. And while I wish the rollout would have been done a little bit differently, the new search system is working well from what I can tell. It is more robust, it is more complex, and it is not easy to learn all the advanced features, but it is a big development that impacts not only the examiners at the USPTO, but also attorneys and users of the USPTO system and how we search for trademarks there. The old system, believe it or not, had been launched, it was either 2000 or 2022, so it had a very long lifetime. Unfortunately, 2023 also saw more new scams targeting trademark applicants and owners. We saw new scams where people called applicants on the phone pretending to be from the USPTO and asking for money and filing fees. This is obviously extremely worrisome. You can read more about that or watch other videos that we've created about that. Also, new scams, new types of emails and other things targeting the world of trademarks and trademark filers, unfortunately. Another big story from this year was about the fees at the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. The filing fees the USPTO has proposed will be increased for the most part in 2024. They started the process with a hearing and a request for comments in 2023. There will be another more refined proposal coming out probably in the spring, and then new fees, which are mostly increases, to be rolled out in the fall of 2024. So that is a big story still developing. Stay tuned for more information about that next year. The USPTO also saw continued lags and delays in many areas for trademark owners, applicants, and registrants. Things are taking longer than ever because of the filing surge back in 2020, 2021, and the USPTO still getting out from under the burden of that surge. Even though filings have been down a little bit each year since then, filings are still at near record highs, and there still are these tremendous backlogs at the USPTO, such that a new application right now at the end of 2023 is unlikely to even be opened and examined for about 9 to 9.5 months after it gets filed. There were many trademark stories in the news and social media throughout the year, like the change from Twitter to X, like Meta's launch of Threads as a competitor to X, like Taco Tuesday. You may have heard about Taco Bell's challenge to the Taco Tuesday trademark registrations, and they ultimately succeeded. Taco Tuesday had been registered for restaurant services, believe it or not, for many years. It is no longer registered. And now everybody is free to use the phrase Taco Tuesday when talking about dining on Tuesdays at restaurants, although we all know that most everybody was using that phrase already anyways. And my final story to wrap up 2023 in the world of trademarks is Taylor Swift. She, in many ways, ruled pop culture in 2023. Her tour, along with Beyonce's tour and both of their movies, huge stories. Taylor Swift, you can see some of my other content and videos, is a master at branding and at trademark protection. And we sadly lost Jimmy Buffett, who passed in 2023. His trademark empire was many hundreds of trademark registrations and brands, and Taylor Swift is on her way to catching up to his empire with an incredible number of trademark registrations and trademark filings and overall great branding and great brand protection. You can find much more content about that, all of these topics and all types of trademark topics. Look for my videos at ericpelton.tv. Listen to my podcasts wherever you subscribe to podcasts, on Spotify, Apple, or you can find it at ericpelton.live, or follow us on social media at Making Trademarks Bloom. You've been listening to Tricks of the Trademark with me, Erik Pelton. I've been making trademarks bloom since 1999. For more information about my trademark services, visit my website at ericpelton.com. Thanks for listening.